So we're going to look at the basic principle of turning a sketch three-dimensional. So we're going to have a very quick sketch on the top plane. I'm going to go normal 2, click on the top section over there. I'm then going to get rid of my front and my right plane just to make it a bit easier. And I'm going to just take a simple center rectangle. I'm going to click on the origin, drag out, click again. I'm going to dimension this by clicking D on my keyboard and making this say 100 millimeters by 100 millimeters like so. And we've then got a nice square. Now at the moment, if I pan around using my right mouse button, clicking and holding it, you can see that it is just a flat piece. There is nothing, no thickness at all about this shape. I can make this a thicker shape, or I can make it 3D by clicking on the extrude button up here. This then gives us all the 3D options if we wanted to do different commands, but for now, we're going to keep it simple. I can change the thickness of this by clicking on the arrow and dragging it up and down. Or, as you can see, I can type in, say, 100 on the left here and press enter. That makes that 100 millimeters tall. This is going to be a solid piece because it is, we've got our square down the bottom. We are starting a new shape. We're not adding to anything. We're not removing from anything. These are commands you'll get used to later on. You've also got the option to go up to certain things. So at the moment it's going blind, and blind it could go as far up as you want it to. Up to next would be if you've got, say, a shape above it over here that you wanted to make this shape go up to. You can go up to a surface or a face, you can go up to a different part. As you can see, lots of different options there. Blind is fine for now. We can change the direction. Okay, we can click on here and it's going to go down rather than going up, which can be quite useful for you depending on which plane you're sketching on. We're not going to worry about this direction part for now. It's not very useful for us. We can offset it. So from this top plane, we could click on the offset and we could start it 25 millimeters, as you can see there from the plane. If I wanted to make it, say, 10 millimeters, click my 10 in, press enter, and then we are 10 millimeters from the plane. Okay, quite useful as well. Again, it can be from something or it can be from this position there. So I'm going to take that away. We can make it symmetric. So it's going to be from this plane, it's going to be 100 millimeters from the center. So if I click on there, it's now moved that plane to the middle and we are extruding it both up and down technically, which is quite useful. If we wanted to, we could also have a second end position. So from here, if I click on this, it's now got a part going up and a part going down, all the same part technically. I can edit that size and say we're going to go 50 millimeters down and 100 millimeters up. I can add a draft. Okay, and a draft is basically tapering something in. So from this square up to here, maybe this part is going to be a little bit smaller. So if I click on the draft, it will make more sense. Okay, that's going to be, let's just accentuate or exaggerate this. 10 degrees, you can see it's much wider at the top. You can change the direction so it's much smaller at the top. All right, which could be useful for different products that you're making. If you want to get rid of it, get it out of a mold, that could be quite nice. You can do the same with the second end position down here. So if I say I want to make this 5 degrees in the opposite direction, if I pan around, you can now see that we have got 2 drafts on our part. Okay, so I'm going to get rid of all of this. And that is a simple extruded shape from a sketch that we have created. Click the green tick and we now have a solid part. It shows our sketch, which we can go back and edit. So if we want to change the size, we can go into here and make this, say, 150 by, let's go for something a bit different, by 40. Press enter, and then that will update that automatically. If I want to go back in and change the height, I can double click on here and I can make this, say, 25 millimeters. Click the green tick and we now have kind of a bar shaped part. So that is simple extruding. I'm going to go into all the different types shortly.